Here we go. Watchmen, Facebook Live, Facebook Live. We have arrived. One more time, y'all. Let's get it in.
Conference muted. Conference recording started.
I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is Watchman, Derrick Yisrael, also known as Pastor Derrick, on the evening scripture study on this 24th day in November 2021. Y'all, let's get it in. Let me do this right quick, though. Let's do it. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now let's figure it out. Okay. Let's figure it out. Yeah, we about to get it in, y'all. I wish I could, but I can't. I just can't. See JB up in here, Matty Yahoo, Dogs, Latricia. We got Myers in the building. Um, y'all ordered another. Looked like somebody stole my iPad. So I had to order another one, and I did. It won't be here until Friday. So I'm making do with this, new situation we got going. Well, I need the Ruah to speak to me. Um, yeah. Okay, well, okay. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks for chiming in. We about to get it, y'all. Koala Yahoo. We about to get it in. Yakawan, always a pleasure, my brother. I'm just lightweight. Trying to figure it out. Okay. We'll just do this. I'm good. Let's go for it. Wow. Okay. Let's go to Colossians, y'all. Third chapter. Let me pray. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you. Come as know how, depending on you. Send a relevant word. We need to hear from your Ruah on today, that we may govern ourselves accordingly and obey. Send a relevant word, that we may humble ourselves before your mighty hand. In Yahushua's name we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. and Aman. All right, let's get it, y'all. Colossians 3:1. Look what it say. If let me see, how am I doing this way? Huh? Look what it say. If ye then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above, where the Messiah sits on the right hand of Yah. How many of us understand that? How many of us understand if you be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above? Now, again, let's do a little dissecting here, right? Let's do some dissecting here today, right? If you then be risen with the Messiah, is this a suggestion or is this what's going to happen? If you then be risen with the Mashiach, seek those things which are above. That's not saying that that's like by force. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you're risen with the Mashiach, you are going to seek those things which are above. If only we knew we was on the Titanic. If only we really got that revelation and that the Titanic then hit the iceberg already and the boat is flooding and sinking. If only we really knew that. Then it would be easier. It would be easier to obey this scripture. But the deceitfulness and the wickedness of the flesh won't allow people to see that. That is beyond 1999 and oops, the party's over. Party's over, oops, out of time. If only folks really understood that. Hey, they don't give out stimulus checks for people that ain't working. They ain't never this regime ain't never gave out nothing. Why are they doing it now? Hey, this place been conquered. The last step that they finna pull now is take your guns. They gonna take the guns from the people. That's the last step, and it was ordered by China. Recently, during COVID, he said Americans got too many guns. That wasn't a suggestion. That was that he called a shot to take the guns from them. What level can you handle truth today? And that little thing that just happened with the youngster going to the rally and killing those people and then got off, that's supposed to cause rage with the people. And then they're going to give up the guns willingly because of that. They finna work this. Because the last chess move, since they divided the country, started a racial war, and now they doing the vax versus the unvax, split the country in half, shutting down the economy through this vax game they playing. Bankrupt this place. Yeah, weakened it tremendously. Take the guns and the paycheck for this place will officially be served. If only folks know that they on the Titanic already hit the iceberg and the boat is full of water. Party over, oops, out of time. But something about the Most High is he alarms and alerts his children. He told us about the fig tree. When you see the fig tree is ripe, leaves is ripe and is ready, it's going to bring forth the figs. And he don't have his children ignorant of Satan and his devices. Those that belong to him is working out their soul's salvation with fear and trembling, and they getting their houses in order. Folks that's in the flesh, even though they're hanging around y'all, folks that's in the flesh, they play spiritual Russian roulette. Put a bullet in the chamber, spin it, and they finna take some chances. They finna party a little bit longer. They gonna get high just a little bit longer. They gonna finish fornicating just a little bit longer. They gonna continue getting drunk just give me a couple of more minutes. I'm almost finished. That's what the flesh tell them. That's what the flesh been telling disobedient folk. Just one more time. That's what the flesh say. That's what MESSIYAH 24 was talking about. Said, who is a wise servant whom the master will find so doing when he return. Who's doing what they supposed to do, feeding the flock and obeying Yah, being led by the Ruach, and attending to the Most High's business. But then the Bible went on to say, but if that wicked and foolish servant say in his heart, my master delayeth his coming, and you got wicked folks that say he ain't coming now. Let me finish trying to get a man, trying to get a woman. Let me finish trying to live my best life. What the conclusion was, he said he was going to come in a time when that wicked servant is not looking for him to come, and go intentionally catch them with their works undone. And he said, and the consequence is going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Straight hell to pay. Look what it say, y'all. If you then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above. The commandment here is come out from among them and be separate. The commandment here is quit trying to please your wicked nature. The commandment is if the Most High saves you via the MESSIYAH, seek those things which are above. That is not only a command, but it's literally a result. You can tell if somebody's been risen with the Messiah based on whether they're seeking those things which are above or not. When a carnal mind is earthbound until they end up in hell. They're earthbound until they arrive in hell because they're hellbound. A carnal mind is caught up in the deception of this world. A carnal mind is enmity against Yah. It's not subject. It will not bow down to the law of Yah. And it's impossible. Neither indeed can be. And it can't do it. That's why the scripture say, if you then be risen with the MESSIYAH, that means you rose above your flesh. You rose above your carnal nature. You're not led by lust and anger no more. Pride no more. You're not led by trying to get rich in this current and present world. That's not. It ain't like you shouldn't work. Work hard and try to equip yourself to be able to take care of yourself and your family. But some folks are striving for the wrong thing at crunch time. You got to be blind as heck to be chasing anything to the point that you abandon your soul. You got to be blind. And you definitely not risen with the Messiah. You got a bunch of folks hanging around near the most High, but never submitting to him. You got folks that is trying to come up with a real life insurance. Not this death insurance that they call life insurance. You got people trying to hang close enough, just like that rich cat that said, that wicked cat that said, "My master delayeth his coming," and began to go against the house of Yah, go against the people of Yah, not preaching and teaching and doing what he was supposed to do concerning the people of Yah. He was trying to stay close enough. That's why he said, "My master delayeth his coming." He didn't say he not coming back. He said he not coming now. And then that gave him elbow room to do him. And you got people that's hanging around close enough. They're not going to fellowship like they should. They're not going to walk away from all sin like they should. They're not going to participate in the things of Yah, kingdom building like they should. They're just going to stay close enough so they believe that when it get real ugly, ugly enough, because it's already ugly, but it ain't ugly enough for a carnal-minded person. A carnal-minded person they're not equipped to flee the wrath to come, like Yakanan was telling those fake Jews or those carnal Jews that came to his baptism. He was telling who have warned you to flee the wrath to come. In the carnal mind, it plays Russian roulette. It don't walk away. It got to get one more kiss. One more phone call, one more puff, one more argument, one more grudge. Next time, I'll obey next time. Give me just one more. I'm almost finished. If you then be risen, look what it say, y'all. If you then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above. Why wouldn't a person know not to fool with anything that can shut down the whole planet and fulfill the scripture, Revelation 13, and say, if you don't participate, you're not going to be able to buy and sell. Just like Revelation 13 said. How thick is that fog? How thick is that darkness? How thick is that deception? That they can't equate that. They can't even see that. This ain't it. A power came along, powerful enough to shut down the whole world, and they ain't never happened before in the existence of humanity. That men, up under the influence of fallen angels, was able to shut this whole place down and say, and if you don't cooperate, you ain't gonna be able to buy and sell. Folks can't even. 1 + 1 ain't 2 no more. When you're under the influence of your flesh, when you've been taken captive by your evil nature, 1 + 1 ain't 2 no more. It's whatever Fauci say it is. If you then be risen with the Mashiach, listen. If you then be risen, if you're born again and you're risen, you risen, y'all, you rose above this carnal atmosphere. You rose above it. Yeah, you rose above it. If you then be risen with the Messiah, the veil was rent from top to bottom. Now you have access to the Most High via the Messiah. He rose, you rose with him. We're seated in heavenly places, Revelation teaches. If you then be risen with the Messiah, your desires have changed. When your ways please the Most High, he'll give you the desires of your heart. When you hunger and thirst after righteousness, he'll give you the desires of your heart. Not only will he fulfill what your heart desire, but he'll give you the desires of your heart. What you're desiring, he gave it to you, and then he'll fulfill it. And no weapon formed against you gonna prosper. Nothing the devil is doing is gonna work. You might cry sometime because weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Check this out. This fight is so fixed, just like this pandemic was fixed. Agenda 2030. Read it. Satan is trying to follow Yah's lead, planning and plotting. Yeah. Planning and plotting. Setting traps. In the end, he the one gonna fall in it. And those that are carnal, his traps work on them. Bible said, if the righteous scarcely be saved, what shall the sinner and the ungodly appear? Scarcely, hey man, we nipping and tucking and bobbing and weaving from a natural standpoint. But to tell you the truth, the fight is fixed. We can't lose with the tools we use because we hungering and thirsting after righteousness. And even if you saw some flaws in Lot, the Bible described him as a righteous man, and what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah vexed his righteous soul. You can have your opinion of it if you want to, but when the smoke cleared, and I'm going to tell you, the smoke going to clear on all of us that believe him. All of us that's doing everything we know how to be saved. I heard our sister say, she said, I don't remember exactly verbatim, but it was more like, I'm going to make it because I'm doing the best I can. That was like the conclusion of the matter. And that's true. If we do the best we can, it's going to be enough. There's going to be enough grace inside of us doing the best we can to get us over the hump. If the righteous scarcely be saved. We're doing all we know how. It gets rough. It gets tough sometimes, but we're doing all we know how. We fasting and praying and reading and giving and showing up and forgiving and just doing the best we can. Folks make a mistake and fall down, we get back up because of the ruah, because of the love of the Most High. Yeah. If you then be risen, if you're risen with the MESSIYAH, I'm telling you, you're gonna do this. It's a command attached to the resurrection. There's a heart and a conduct attached to being risen. Because it's also an agenda, a lifestyle that's attached to not being risen. Because if you're not risen, you're going to seek those things which are beneath. You're going to seek things which is on earth. And the Bible discloses we can't serve Yah and money. Your desire is going to be to make it here, and money helps you make it here. The pursuit of financial gain, the pursuit of money here will destroy you. Look what it say, y'all. If you then be risen with the MESSIYAH, man, alcohol can't stop you, dope can't stop you, women can't stop you, men can't stop, sex can't stop you. Folks doing you wrong can't stop you. Hard times can't stop you. No weapon formed against you gonna prosper when you're risen with the MESSIYAH. And that don't mean you're not on earth. He's talking to those that's on earth. It's a spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual resurrection. You're risen spiritually, though you're here on earth. Because you're risen, you're able to present your body a living sacrifice. And you're going to present it holy, and it's going to be acceptable unto Yah, and it's your reasonable worship. It's reasonable. And He's going to supply you with that reasonable worship, because greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. And what activated the greater one to work in your life is the fact that you believed and you were willing. You were willing. Get tough sometimes, but you was willing. Get hard sometimes, but you was willing. They might have been appealing, but you was willing. You walked away. If you then been risen, resurrection. We were baptized into his death. And like as he was raised up by the glory of the Father, even so we should walk in the newness of life. Because you're risen in the newness of life, you seeking those things which are above. Your desire is in heaven. Your desire, you like a pilgrim passing through this place. That's why I said, even those that are married, be as though you're not. You don't have time. You just don't have time. We need to be working on our soul salvation with fear and trembling. We just don't have the time. We don't have the luxury. Is this the time? Can you see spiritually? Are you risen? Because you can. Some folks, you should work on your relationships, your marriage, your family, and all that. And the Bible do say those that are married care for the things of the earth. But that same Bible said there's going to come a time where if you are married, be as though you're not. If you do have a bunch of money, be as though you don't have it. You have a lot of land and stuff, be as though you don't. These are the times we're living in. Especially in a deceitful place like we living in, whereas you can buy a house and you don't own it. See, folks just now waking up. Some of the realtors understand that. Most of the realtors found out that when you buy a house in America, you don't own it. And some that stay on top of the politics and what's really going on since 1933, it's illegal for American citizens to own anything because they're in debt to the Federal Reserve. And they emptied Fort Knox out of all the gold and gave you this fake RN notes, this fake money that we got now, which is a bad check. Nothing back in it. There's nothing back. It's only worth the paper it's on. And they got so much game. They're controlling land and everything in the country off some paper. You know how much game it is that you can trade paper and get real stuff? Hustling the people so bad, and then hit them with taxes and throw them in jail over some paper and take all your stuff. Living in a place like this, if you only knew, it's a facade. It's a fake freedom. That's why they're able to tell you what you're going to put in your body, whether you like it or not. Yeah. I can go deeper than that, but I don't offend too many people. Because some of the people that might get offended could potentially accept the best array, the gospel, and get closer to the most high, to the saving of their souls. Look what it say, y'all. If you then be risen with the MESSIYAH, seek those things which are above. Well, look. Is that hard? It could be. It definitely is impossible for somebody that's carnal. It's achievable to those that are risen, that love the Most High, that accepted the Messiah, the work of the torture stake, what happened on the torture stake. Those that accepted the Messiah as master of their life was supernaturally given the ability to seek those things which are above. Those that turned their back on him, it's difficult to seek those things which are above. Super difficult. You don't be the type of person that seek those things which are above for a little while, but the real you kick back in and your flesh just reclaim you, snatch you back up. Timothy talked about how Satan is able to take certain individuals at his will, anytime he wants to. You position yourself like you're going to serve Yah, and then he just snatch you, and you're doing the fool again. Yeah. If you be risen, I'm trying to show you something. If, there ain't no guarantee. If you be risen, there's a command attached to it. And to get deeper than that, it's deeper than the command. It's a result. And that's the truth. It's literally a result. If you be risen with the MESSIYAH, you are going to seek those things which are above, where the MESSIYAH sit on the right hand of Yah, and Yah is a spirit. He ain't got no right hand. Only time he had a right hand is when the word became flesh. and he was born as the son. When he was found fashioned as a man, and he humbled himself and became obedient unto death. Even the death on that pole, on that straw, on that torture stake, what they call the cross. So him sitting on the right hand of Yah, right hand represents power. And he rose back up into power. Mission accomplished. Listen. So then he told us to set your affections on things above, not on things of the earth. Here we go back with the power. I done said it before, y'all. I'm saying it again. He gave us the power. Those that are risen. These are all results of being risen. These are all results of being risen. You ain't got to guess if you're risen or not. If you risen, you're going to seek those things which are above. Where the Mashiach is back in power. Back on at the throne. The power of the throne of Yah. That ain't the end of the command or the result of being risen. Another result of being risen is you have the power to set your affections. At first, you was a slave to your affections. Because the carnal mind is trapped with the Adam nature, a fallen nature. Humanity is fallen. It's a fallen species. That's why we in this mess. We in this mess because we're a fallen species. There's death on planet Earth because humanity is a fallen species. And they fail messing around with the fallen angels. And the snake that was in the garden was a fallen angel. He wasn't even the chief. But he's a fallen angel. The book of Enoch will teach you that. The one that deceived Eve is in the book of Enoch. He wasn't even the chief. But he's a fallen angel. And he deceived Eve. And when he deceived Eve, it led to her deceiving her husband. And sin wasn't instituted until the man, the one that was in charge, sinned. Now you got women more manly than men. Because we're a fallen species. Now you got homosexuality because we're a fallen species. You got witchcraft and all kind of satanic stuff because we're a fallen species. And we're under the influence of those fallen angels, those dark angels, those demons. Enoch said that they became demons, devils. And mankind is under the influence. Opening portals, reptilian people, running thing, killing people, lying. They didn't transform folks, harden their hearts. Now they transform their sexuality, and now they're going for the gusto. They're into transformation, transforming people, and now they're into transhumanism. They want to change your DNA. They want to take you right back to the days of Noah, Genesis the 6th chapter, where they switch gene splicing. Yeah. Mixing animals and mixing people. Mixing man with technology. $6 million man. You thought that was a joke? No, they serious. But the kicker is when they start changing your blood. When they start sticking stuff in your body that changes your blood and cause you not to even be human anymore. Which is a whole nother level that I'm not finna get too much into, but it already started. They boosting you right out of your humanity. Stick you and boost you. Boosters. Yeah. But if you risen with the Mashiach, see, they use the manipulation of the fallen nature of man. That's what they using. They're using the fallen nature of man. Ha-Satan can work with the fallen state of man. how Satan used Adam's wife, but his goal was to get to Adam. He couldn't get to him directly, so he used his wife. He's still using the same thing. You got weak brothers that their wife ran them right out of Yah. Yeah. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But he was trying to get Adam. And it worked like a charm. So the Most High doubled back and said, okay, since you did that, the seed of the woman, second Adam. You want to attack Adam? I'm going to send a second Adam at you. So the fallen angels decided that we're going to stop this. We're going to come down and sleep with the women. We're going to spoil the seed of man, thereby defiling their bloodline. That's what, when the angels slept with the women and had the Nephilim, they were tainting the bloodline intentionally. Ain't no seed of the woman gonna do nothing if he taint the blood. And after the flood, I think it's Genesis 6, but after the flood, there were still giants. Y'all saw when they went into the land in Canaan, there was giants there. There was giants after the flood. How did they have giants in the first place? Because the angels slept with women and had children. So how was there then giants after the flood? Well, heck, whatever made the giants in the beginning obviously had to do it again. That's why you don't go for we evolved from monkeys, because it still would be happening. Yeah. But what caused it to happen the first time was the fallen angels. So what makes you think it ain't the fallen angels to happen the second time? What makes you think it ain't demonic presences now coming from fallen angels? It's all kind of stories of women being raped in the middle of the night by spirits, fallen angels. Trying to mess with the bloodline. The Bible is clear on Satan trying to stop the MESSIYAH from coming, and he couldn't stop him. Most High preserve a bloodline so that he could be born, and Satan is still attacking the bloodline. And just like in the days of Noah, before he flooded and destroyed this place, said the time of the Son of Man's return is going to be just like it was in Noah's day. And here we go again. They're attacking the blood, making hybrid humans, transforming them from where Yah made them to be. Mm-hmm. If you then be risen with the MESSIYAH, that's what the Bible says, y'all. Listen. If you then be risen with the MESSIYAH, seek those things which are above. Can't you see we living in the last days? Can you? How many of y'all see we living in the last days? Folks, are we that asleep? Things is not going to turn back to what it used to be, is because they have a plan, but so does Yah. And we're moving right along. It's time for the paychecks. And the only ones who's going to escape the wrath to come is those that's risen, that forsake this place, that forsake the flesh, that forsake the agenda of your humanism. The humanism has an agenda, and you got to forsake it because the fallen human agenda is what Hasatan attaches himself to. That fallen nature of man is what he can manipulate. You know how powerful women is? Women are so powerful that the angels came down to sleep with them. That's a lot of power. Don't you think that sexy girl ain't got no doggone power? You out your mind. And that's still happening now. People are falling. Say, but by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. Hasatan is still using sex and the power of a woman. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Because he can attach himself to manipulate your flesh, your fallen nature. He got action at that. He had action at Adam, caused him to fall because of his wife. I'm trying to tell you something. But you're not subject to the wiles, to the manipulation and schemes of the devil. When you're risen, you're not going to go for a woman or a man. You're not going to go for money. It's not like you don't want to marry a woman or a man. It's not like money don't answer in all things, because it does. But you can't have the love for it, because when you carnal, he can use your carnal nature against you and cause you to go against the Most High. But if you're risen, I'm trying to talk to you. If you're risen with the MESSIYAH, you're going to seek those things which are above. He ain't got no control over heaven. That's why the prayer said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When you're risen, you're seeking those things which are above, where the MESSIYAH sits on the right hand, back in power of the throne of Yah. So he told you to set your affection. That's another attribute that's only belong to the risen. Set your affections. You take the authority over your flesh, and you've been born again, y'all. And now you're hungering and thirsting after righteousness. You're not hungering and thirsting after the orgy, getting drunk and high, trying to live the lifestyles of the rich and famous. You set your affections on things above, and look what it say, not on things on the earth. That's not where your affections is. That's not where your desires is anymore. Who does that? The risen. The risen with the Messiah. The risen. You seek those things which are above. The fallen angels can't affect you. The wickedness, the gene splicing, nah, I'm not with it. Nah, you ain't sticking nothing in me. Nah, I'm not sleep with nothing you do. He not gonna have. It's not because I'm smart. It's because the Most High ain't gonna have me ignorant concerning Satan and his devices. And Satan just mean adversary, y'all. Who's the adversary? These devils. Where these devils come from? Fallen angels. Yeah, they rebelled. Hasatan himself was a fallen angel. He rebelled. He wasn't the only one that rebelled. Now they're trying to open up portals to let them out. Yeah. On earth. And the climate is right for them to be let out. Because you got this reptilian folk, they children, same blood, them 13 families is the bloodline of the fallen. Them jokers is reptilian jokers. Remember they was in the deep like Aquaman. Aquaman had a fork just like Satan, don't he? Look at it. And even in the beginning, when the Most High moved upon the face of the deep. And he said, let there be light, because the water is dark. The deep is the water. The earth was covered in water. Yeah. He killed everything on earth. The things in the sea didn't die. He flooded this place. So what was in the water didn't die. It was things on the earth that died. He gave us our inheritance wasn't the water. Our inheritance was the earth, dry land. But this next time he gonna burn this joker up. He gave us the rainbow, the promise. I ain't finna kill you like that again. And burn this joker down next time. If you then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above. Listen, I'm finna go. But seek those things which are above, where the Mashiach sit on the right hand of Yah. He's back in authority. He's back in power. He did everything needed to be done for our rescue, for the rescue mission. I'm just trying to tell you, he hung on that tree and said, it is finished. And the veil was rent. Now we got access at the Most High. Yeah. Mercy seat in full effect. Yeah. And he's saying, if you're risen, if you've been born again, the result of that is you're gonna seek the things of Yah. You can't beg nobody to do this. Well, you can. I beseech you by the mercies of Yah that you present your body a living sacrifice. But the only thing that's gonna cause a person to do it is if they're a true believer. Yeah, and it's a personal decision that they make. So the word's talking directly to he that have an ear to hear what the Ruach saying to the ecclesia. Whoever have an ear for Yah, he telling you, if you be risen. Listen, this is not telling you to be risen. I'm finna go, but listen. He's not telling you to be risen. He's telling you if you are. By the time we got to the third verse in Colossians, you should already had been. And he's telling you the results of if you are or have been risen. The result is seek those things which are above. And then he told you to set your affections. What was you affectionate about before you came to him? Because some folks are still affectionate and say they came to him. You ain't risen with him. You still got your old affections. You still horny. You still mean. And you still hold grudges. You still a drunk and a dopehead. You still stingy and funny style. No, if you be risen with the Mashiach, seek those things which are above, where the Mashiach sits at the right hand of the throne of Yah, or the right hand of Yah. And then he said, set your affections. The risen can take their affections and move them to where they should be. Yeah. Took them from the world, took them from the women, took them from the men, took them from the dope, took them from the hustle, took them from their pride, snatched it, and set it in heavenly places. Yeah. Yeah. Set your affections. Ooh, I used to be a freak. Yeah. Ooh, I used to love me some good old dope. Yeah. I used to whoop your dog or get smart, man. I used to I bite your head off and spit down your neck. Snatch your purse and your wallet. Kick you in the chest, you fall, then I jump in my car and run you over. And then back up over you and run you over again and hop on the freeway. Headed to your house to rob it. But now that I'm risen, the power of the Ruach, through his unmerited favor, his grace, I was able to reset my affections. On things above. And the kicker is not on things of the earth. I'm finna go. Did he say not on things on earth? Did he say not? I'm finna go. He said, set your affection on things above, not on things that are. How about both? Can I set my affection on things above and on earth? No, it didn't say that, did it? What did it say? Colossians 3 and 2. What did it say? It says, set your affections on things above, not on things on earth. Not, no. You can't afford it. A double-minded man is unstable in all his way. You can't serve two masters. Trying to serve Yah and money, it ain't gonna work. Who you with? He said not. He didn't even say do it sometime. He said never, not. Don't do it. That don't mean you don't want things in life. That don't mean don't buy a house and a car and work and be successful. That don't mean that. You can't afford to have your affections there because you're going to love one and despise the other. You're going to cleave to one and hate the other, but you can't do both. This is talking to the risen, y'all. If you then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above. That's a result. It's a command. I said it. It is. It said it. It told you to seek those things above. It's also a result for the risen. I'm telling you that. If you're risen, you're going to seek those things which are above, where the Mashiach that is in power in heaven. And you're going to set your affections on things above. And not on the earth. And not on the earth. And not on the earth. Right? Right. Let's pray. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you humbly know how gleaning in your ruah, in your presence. Eating that manna, that bread that came from heaven. Help us get our priorities straight and not be double-minded. Right on, Pastor Jones. I can't see the whole thing, but I see you in here. Always a pleasure, sir. Again, Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you. Hummus know how, because we need you. We love you. Detach. Through the power of your ruah, cause your children to detach even the more. Wake us up. Quicken us and make us alive to the truth of your word. You told us to set our affections. You told us that if we're risen, you command us to seek those things which are above. We understand that if we're risen, we will seek those things which are above. And through being risen with you, you gave us the power to reset our affections, to set our affections, put them where they belong, on things above, and not on things that are. Can't afford it. I can't get affectionate about none of this. I need to wear this place like a loose garment. Help us, Yah. We pilgrims passing through. Help us. Give us revelation. Now give us the power in this hour. Shower down the power in this hour. That we be spokespersons for you. And that we represent you in these last and evil days. And we'll be careful to give you the praise and honor, not only now, but forever. In the matchless name of Yahushua, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. And Aman. That was the lesson for tonight. I pray we obey everything Yah say. Okay? Okay. That was the lesson. Again, I pray you were Baruch. And that you really got something out of it. If you did, feel free to push the share button. Thank you to everyone to support the ministry. May the Most High continue to bless you. Y'all want to talk about the lesson? That'd be a blessing. All you got to do is dial 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Again, 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Thanks for hanging out, Pastor Jones. Always a pleasure, my brother and my friend. Everybody be Baruch and Barak and Shalom. I'm gone.